Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you, and happy Rosh Hashanah to our Jewish friends. Hope all had a nice journey down here to the center this morning. Traffic in LA, as always, is a bit daunting, and we deeply appreciate that you could make it on time. And I apologize for us not making it on time, but we're here and we're ready to go, and we're so happy that everyone's here. And this is tremendous. It is indeed a beautiful morning here in Los Angeles, and of course, what morning isn't beautiful in Los Angeles? I'll say that from a Los Angelino. And we welcome everyone to our 10th annual For Grace's Change Agent Pain Summit, Part 1. And now, as you can tell, for those who have attended these events before, this title is a little bit different from our typical program. We're doing something a little bit different this year. Not our usual fun and games, no hula skirts, no face the cookie, no advice on how to improve your sex life. However, if you'd like to exchange and talk amongst yourselves, that's fine. John, go ahead, anytime. No bar, there's no tiki. Our tiki master, John Bassinger Flores from last year, has no tiki bar. But if you're nice to him, he may provide something for you. Anyway, that's all been good and fine. But we've got some serious work to do today, and that's how can we improve our pain care. So that's a very important topic. And so I did mention this part 1 business, and so you're asking, what's that all about, part 1? Well, I'd like the next 2 amazing women speakers to answer that question for you, and it is a doozy. However, I even know this much. Today is about hearing the voices of the most important people in the chronic pain story, and that is the person in chronic pain and the person who is taking care of that person. All other people are secondary players, 1 or 2 degrees removed from the actual experience. The people in this room are the real experts, and it is your thoughts and ideas that really matter. So welcome, and let your voice be heard on how to better your pain care. We also have people not actually here in person that matter too, and they are watching by the thousands in from all over the world via live webcast supplied by Rich Tamaya's team at tvplive.com. So welcome to you also. And since your voice is equally as important, please join us on Twitter with the hashtag, there it is, WIPCONF 2017, to share your thoughts, ideas, or just to say, hey, hello, that'd be great. I want to do a quick shout out to the many folks who have lent a hand in making today a reality. Without their passion, wisdom, sweat, this day would be just an idea in somebody's noggin. So I deeply, profoundly thank our planning committee, our volunteers, our sponsors, our venue host, the California Endowment, for this beautiful space to gather in, and of course our speakers and panelists. Let it be known, everyone you see up here has fully donated their time and talents at no cost. That allows us to make more complimentary passes available to folks to attend, and that is tremendous. Again, thank you all. So, okay, enough of me. Geez, let's get it over with. And now, I'm going to kick this day off into high gear by introducing a woman who kicks me into high gear every day of my life. She is the founder and spokesperson of For Grace, a woman who is never short on vision, passion, and making good things happen. I give you the indomitable, the indefatigable, and the unsinkable Cynthia Toussaint. Yeah. Yikes.
You said indefatigable.
I did. I couldn't. I never
help me with my chair, and I'm good. Thank you. Wow. So thank you, John. I do need my chair. Thank you. Thank you for embarrassing me again. And welcome, change agents. Wow, we're going to do some exciting work together today. And it's really wonderful to look out and see all of your smiling and determined expressions. Welcome. And welcome everyone joining us via worldwide webcast. You will be just as much a part of our day as everyone in this room, just as I'm sure your smiles and determined faces are just as bright. So it is September, which means that it's Pain Awareness Month. And I want to give a special shout out of gratitude to the two most kick-ass lady legislators in the state. Let's face it. We know that they are California Senator Hannah Beth Jackson. Yes, thank you. And we're going to be working a lot together next year. As well as LA City Controller, Sheila Kuehl. Yay. Thank you, ladies, for working with For Grace this year to proclaim September as Pain Awareness Month and September 22nd as Women in Pain Awareness Day. Yay, I love these women. So every event that For Grace hosts is very near and dear to my heart, but today's event is nearer and dearer because this is our 10th annual event and we are doing something really different. In the words of my beautiful, brilliant sister in pain, Mindy Meyer, over the past 9 years, For Grace has held conferences to improve the lives of women who experience chronic pain and their caregivers. The time has come to make more long-lasting systemic change. So that's why we're here today, and that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to laugh, cry, and bond, a little bit of everything today. So I want to give you a bit of background about Mindy and me and how this summit came about. I first met Mindy about 15 years ago when we were both doing completely different nonprofit work at Community Partners. And my first impressions of Mindy were that she was probably the nicest person I'd ever met. And she was also probably the smartest person I'd ever met. In fact, my joke back then with John was that at least half the things Mindy said went seriously, like series right over my head. And they still do, which is a good thing, because that means I'm learning, right? So I was deeply saddened shortly afterward when Mindy announced that she and her project were going to leave Community Partners. And the night after I said goodbye to her, I cried, because I thought that I would probably never see Mindy again. Then about a year later, I was waiting to give a presentation at LA City Hall, and I had a really bad flu, so John had me lying on the floor outside the chambers, and I was stunned shortly afterward to see John walking very quickly toward me with Mindy. Her arm was in a sling. She had a distraught expression when she said something like, "Cynthia, I slammed my hand on a door. I have RSD." So my relationship with Mindy continued due to an event that I wished had never happened. The good news is that our bond deepened due to shared experience, and shortly afterward, Mindy not only went back to school, got her bachelor's and master's, all with the right arm that didn't work, just to give you a little idea about who Mindy is. And she also offered to facilitate For Grace's next event, which was our 3rd annual Women in Pain Conference. And she has facilitated every event that we have hosted since. And don't let her fool you, she'll try. But we could never pull these off without wonderful Mindy. Okay, now jump forward to February of 2014. I just received devastating news that the bill that I and For Grace had put our blood and sweat into for 7 years, and I just found the 4th author for, had been heisted. So I needed an antidepressant with no side effects fast. And so, of course, I called Mindy. And after giving her my long sob story with plenty of sobs, Mindy shared one of her famous metaphors. She said something like, "Cynthia, you are right in front of a mountain. And because you are so close to that mountain, you can't see over it, and you don't ultimately know what's going to happen." And then she added, "Cynthia, do you want to make change with Pain Care in California?" And thinking that it sounded like a trick question, I sort of meekly answered with a yes. And then she emphasized, Cynthia, do you really want to make change with pain care in California? And I said, hell yes. And that's when Mindy shared her dream when it comes to pain and nonprofit work, which is this summit. Mindy explained how she wanted to bring thought leaders from all of the different sectors of the healthcare systems together. She wanted them to think deeply about barriers to care and pain solutions, and she wanted them to work together to improve pain care in California, possibly by implementing the National Pain Strategy. So of course, our board and legislative committee loved it. And after about a year of phone meetings with John, me, Mindy, and the brilliant Diane Hoffman in Maryland, we love you, Diane, we assembled our summit design team and began the interview process. So we were interviewing many of these thought leaders to be sure that we were spot on with our mission summit. Did I turn that around? The mission to our summit, and also so that they could help us shape our day. Well, a piece of disturbing feedback that we were hearing was that people in pain and their caregivers, advocates, were not being given a big enough voice with this effort. So that's when we decided that we needed to do our summit in two parts. Welcome to For Grace's Change Agent Pain Summit, Part 1. Everyone in this room is a person in pain or the caregiver or advocate for a person in pain, and today is all about us having a voice and being sure that collectively our voice is being heard. I like to think of this day as a big focus group because everything that we glean from all of you in this room and joining us via webcast will then be shared with the luminaries who attend our 2018 Summit Part 2. So we are now all working together to make big change. And we are going to implement the National Pain Strategy in California and be a model for the rest of the country because the time has come. So I was speaking about working together and then I went off on my tangent. So speaking of, no matter how hard I try, I can never adequately thank all of the people who are working together to make this summit happen. Among so many, I want to thank Dr. Bob Twillman, my birthday brother, literally half an hour apart. Wow. Dr. Bob is going to be giving our keynote and moderating our morning panel. I also want to thank our extraordinary four panelists. You guys are incredible. Wait till you hear these people. Radine Marie Cook, who has turned her personal pain into breathtaking beauty. Please enjoy Radine's art gallery, along with her handcrafted award that we will be presenting this afternoon. Hey, Radine, Sister Deanie. A yoga presentation by True, who is truly heart expanding. It's true, I just met her. An interactive, this is hard for me to say still, an interactive World Cafe afternoon facilitated by Mindy, Meyer. The planning committee for today's event. I love all of you, my beautiful sisters, and the design team who's already been working for over a year to be sure that our day smoothly transitions into our summit Part 2 without incident. You all know who you are, and I know that you are the most amazing, high-level, enthusiastic, and passionate people that I've ever worked with, and indeed, you are all my heroes. It seems so strong, but thank you. It seems very, very small. Please, an applause for it. Thank you. Thank you. And because the architect of this summit is Mindy Meyer, I now get to introduce her. I want to get this right. Okay, Mindy is lead mediator at the Center for Collaborative Policy at California State University, Sacramento. And that all sounds good, but what's more important to me is that Mindy is my friend, she is my sister, my antidepressant with no side effects. Talk about integrative care, right, Bob? And besides being super sharp, she is the most loving, kind, and caring person that I could ever hope to know in this or any other lifetime. No pressure, Mindy, but it's true. So that being said, It now feels very natural for me to pass the summit baton along to, I surprised you with one thing, Mindy Meyer. Woo!
A baton.
Woo!
Wow.
For ages 3 and up.
Great. Well, happiness to all of you. So, this is my first time wearing progressives in a room, and I think I'm not quite ready for them, so I have to set them down. It is so wonderful to see you all here today. Thank you for coming out and sharing today with us. So, as Cynthia mentioned, this is a little bit different than what we normally do. At our Women in Pain conferences, we always have an opportunity to come together to support one another. Oftentimes, that's with new information, new strategies, and that helps us. It helps us emotionally, it helps us mentally, physically, and in ways that I can't even quantify. We explore how to thrive through and beyond pain, and we share our truths and our hearts with each other. And those things are here today with us as well. Well, we did want to create a space a little bit different than normal, where we can plant the seeds of change. That conversation that Cynthia shared when we talked about what was next, I said, well, you know, a lot of what we do, not in the conferences, but just in terms of moving things forward, is so incremental. And I asked her, you know, do we want to do something different this time around? And she, as you heard, enthusiastically jumped on board. So enough with rearranging matches in a matchbox. Let's change the paradigm. That's what we're here to do today. So we're going to plant seeds of change, put on your gardening gloves, and the canvas that you have on your tables is going to be our soil. So one of the other things that I wanted to share with you about today is that it has an arc. So we're starting with some yoga to get our energy moving. Alternative care is an approach that's helped many of us, and we're going to be asking you more questions about the alternative care that works for you. Then we're going to have panelists come and talk about their experience with the pain care system. What's working? What not so much? Then we're going to have Dr. Bob Twillman walk us through the National Pain Strategy. It was a great dream to want to change the pain care system, but without a roadmap, it was a little challenging. Well, the National Pain Strategy is that roadmap, and we want to get you acquainted with that. So if you haven't heard about it, no problem. I'm going to walk you through the little workbook you have, and there's a graphic on that. But this will help you get a little more deeply steeped in it, and like I said, it's going to be our roadmap, hopefully. Then we're going to take a break and come back and have a Patron of Women's Award for, as you know, every year we recognize a woman who's done outstanding work for women. And this year it's Susan Samueli. She's the founder of the Irvine Center for Integrative Care. So we are just honored to be able to honor her today. Then after we finish with lunch, we are going to have 2 interactive sessions. I'll walk you through the mechanics of those. It's going to involve some moving around. One of the really important parts of change is diversity. That's one of the contributors to change. So we're going to get lots of different thoughts. And you'll hear me use this garden analogy, but today is really about planting the seeds. These seeds will have time to germinate, and then hopefully we will see these harvest in the next, be harvesting what you guys have planted today in the next upcoming years.